Hello, and welcome to Stretching for Low Backs and Hips. Today is all going to be about stretching out and even strengthening the areas that support our low back and our hips and going for better muscular and joint balance. Let's get started. Widen out the feet a little bit, maybe hip to shoulder width apart, and we're just going to do a few easy rotations. So let the arms swing around from one side to the other. And just release a little bit through the hips, shoulders, and low back. It's also a way to warm up just a little bit. Breathe in, breathe out, shake it out just a little bit. All right, and then widen the feet out a little bit more for 3 deep breaths in. Circle sweep the arms up high to sky. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, circle sweep up. Exhale, down. And again, inhale, circle sweep up. Exhale, down. And bring those feet in together. A little lateral flexion. Inhale, reach the arms up high to sky, lengthen, and then lean over to one side. Now, if we're taking care of our low back, bring one hand to the thigh and reach up this way. We've got a little bit more stability, a little bit more support. Inhale, center. Exhale, other direction. Lengthen up with one hand. You can press into the thigh with the other. Pull up on hip tips, gently engaging through core center. And other side. Switching again, lengthening. Think about a nice tall spine, stretching down the side body. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side, reach. And inhale, both arms up to center and bring the hands down through heart center. Step wide for 3 deep breaths. Circle sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands circle sweep around. Again, inhale. Exhale, hands down and through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Last time, reach up. Hands down through heart center. Widen out the feet a little bit more. We're going to do just a few lateral lunges, just side to side, really focusing on the hips shooting backward here a little bit. And where you can see my hands here, this is where our hips are hinging. So hinge back. Take your time, getting a little bit of a hamstring and adductor stretch. Side to side, breathing in, breathing out for 8, 7, 6, keep the knees behind the toes, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, let's come on down onto the hands and knees for a little cat-cow. So bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's exhale, tuck tailbone under, draw up on hip tips. Inhale to lengthen into cow pose. Exhale, tucking under, stretching into low back, and inhale to lengthen. Now options, you can turn the fingertips away from you, and then maybe even turn them so far that they point towards the knees. And now tuck under into your cat and feel how your abdominals are really working here. And we're really putting the work into the pelvis. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, tucking tailbone under. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, tucking under. And one more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, tucking under. And release. Sink back into a little bit of a child's pose for a moment. Work the hands over to one side, getting a little bit of a latissimus dorsi stretch and, well, what feels like the low back. And that's an attachment site down into that thoracolumbar fascia. And go over to the other side, work the hands over, lengthening through fingertips, stretching down side body, really reaching out and back through sits bones. And then inhale back to center, forward into a kneeling plank, engaging core, shoulders down out of the ears. Pause here for a moment. Lower the body down to the mat and then lift into cobra, strengthening back, elbows squeeze to ribs, thighs, glutes, and abs are strong. Lift up and forward through heart center. And then exhale, press back into a child's pose. Inhale forward onto all fours. Once again, for spinal balance, extend one leg, opposite arm, reach. And now draw the elbow and knee underneath the body, maybe tap them. And reach long again. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, reach. One more time, exhale, tuck under. Inhale, reach. and release down. Other side, lengthen. Exhale, draw under. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, draw under, mobilizing at the joints. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lengthen. One more time. Exhale, tucking under. Inhale, lengthen. And we'll bring the hands down. One more time. Quad stretch. Sink back. Sink back into our child's pose. And from here, let's move into a quad stretch. So lower onto the belly, reach back, grab hold of a foot, and feel the stretch across the quad. Now, if it's more comfortable, roll onto the side of the body, reach back, grab hold of a foot. This can be more comfortable for all sorts of reasons, and so please take your pick on what's going to work best for you. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Now, you could also use a stretch strap to sort of lasso your foot and create a little bit more space or reach. All right, and release. Other side. Roll to the side, grab your foot, or just reach back, grab hold. Think about strong glutes anchoring the front hip crease down into the mat to gently draw the heel towards the seat. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Again, breath in and breath out. And let's release. Press back to child's pose or a downward facing dog. Perhaps take a downward facing dog this time and pedal through, stretching through calves and hamstrings here a little bit for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pigeon pose, half pigeon. Figure 4 is your option. Half pigeon. Raise the right leg high to sky. Drive the right leg all the way through to touch your right wrist. Same wrist to knee. Reach the other leg back. Come down onto your forearms and nestle in. Your option will be to lie on your back with your right ankle over the left knee and draw the legs into the chest. Maybe dorsiflex that top leg or top ankle to keep the knee stabilized. So let's hang out here in our pigeon. Relax into the shoulders, melt down into the stretch. This stretch impacts over 30 different muscle groups. And so as you can imagine, taking a little bit more time to work through those muscle groups is a great idea. So we're going to take another minute to just breathe and melt down into our stretch here today. So let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. And as we breathe out, think about melting like butter in a pan, just broadening and releasing into the stretch. Now, if you start feeling any kind of pull or tug or pinching at the knee, it might mean your hip's just a little too tight today, and taking figure 4 would be a great option. So depending on the day, you may alternate between. Both are great options. We've got 20 more seconds here, breathing in through the nose and breathing out. Visualize your right leg stretching outward, your left leg reaching back. You're just broadening and releasing. And release to downward facing dog. Time flies when you're having fun in pigeon. Reach the hips up. Let's pedal through the heels one at a time. Know that child's pose is your option here. Otherwise, we're in down dog. We're pedaling through the heel by bending one knee at a time, stretching into our calves and hips and hamstrings. And from here, figure 4 on the other side, or pigeon. So you could raise the left leg high to sky, drive the knee all the way up to the wrist, maybe wiggle that heel forward a little bit more, and then the other leg can reach back. You can come down onto the forearms and hang out here. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Again, breath in and breath out. We'll keep the air flowing. You could stack the fists and put the forehead down on them. That's always a nice way of helping the body release and relax in through the neck and shoulders specifically. So for the next minute, we're just going to release and visualize. I like to visualize that butter in a pan. It starts, tense and firm, but then it warms and releases and relaxes across the pan. And so let's think about your hips, your legs releasing and relaxing and letting go of tension. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Paying attention again to where you're feeling the tightness as well. Likely, there are some differences between one side and the other, as our bodies are so unique in so many ways. Let's take that breath in and breath out. And from here, let's release downward facing dog or child's pose. Press the hips up and back. Let's just enjoy the stretch. If you're in down dog, enjoy the pedaling of the heels. Maybe rotate the hips a little, side to side. For 3, 2, and 1. Come down onto the knees and onto the side of the body. We'll do a little strengthening series for this part of the hips and low back, taking care of our hips and low back. So we'll do a clam shell first. So you can take your lower arm and you can make it into a pillow. Top hand is your kickstand. We'll lift up through the waistline. You're flexed at the hips, flexed at the knees. You're gonna lift the top leg and lower. Lift and lower. Now, if we wanna feel a little bit more intensity, lift your feet up a few inches off the ground, and then the top leg can lift and lower. Now imagine your hips being straight up and down, parallel to the floor, like a piece of toast in the toaster, straight up and down. If we're leaning or moving, you go ahead and adjust, lift and down, lift, pause, and down. We're working into stabilizing muscles in through the glutes, lift and down. 4 more, lift and lower, lift and lower. 2 more, lift and lower, lift and hold. We're just gonna hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and good. Let's release down. Switching to the other side, kicking the legs around. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow, top hand as your kickstand. Lift up through the waistline here a little bit. We're slightly flexed at the hips, flexed at the knees. And imagine that your heels are in line with your glutes, so straight on down. And from here, we'll lift the top knee and lower, ensuring that the hips themselves don't rock back or forth. Not sure, take a look. And then maybe go ahead and lift the feet off the ground for more intensity. Lift the leg and lower, lift and lower. Keep the air flowing. Keep the legs moving here. Breathe. Now you really do want to focus on stabilization through the pelvis so that we're not rocking forward or back. It is really easy to do if we're not really focused on it. So let's draw our focus there. 4 more times. 4, 3, and I'm putting my hand back there to stabilize my pelvis. 2, and 1. Now just hold the leg up there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and good. We're gonna lie down onto the back for a little dead bug here. Dead bug in the sense of strengthening our abs. So we're gonna reach the arms straight up over the shoulders, bring the legs up into tabletop. Now extend the same arm as leg long, keeping the low back close to the ground and return. That means essentially engage your abdominals right now, and wherever that position of your spine is, keep it there. So the spine isn't going to pull away from the floor any more than it is currently. Keep it steady. And then other side, reach long, and return. And this is what we do. Our abdominals have to brace and stabilize so that the spine doesn't get pulled around as we reach arm and leg outward. Now we're reaching the same arm and leg at this point. They're not touching the floor, they're hovering, they're getting close. And return. Reach and lift. Reach and lift. 4 more. Lengthen and in. Lengthen and in. 2 more. Reach and reach and release everything down. We just had a little bit of stabilization and now we get to get back to our stretching. So we'll start with the figure 4. Right ankle crosses over the left knee. Draw the legs into the chest. Hold them in nice and strong. Breathe in and breathe out. Roll the ankles around. We want to do a rotated figure 4. So if you're really flexible, we're going to take these legs and just shoot them over to the left here. But if you're not as flexible, I want you to put that 1 foot down on the ground again, keep your leg crossed, and then roll to the side. So we're gonna take these legs and we're gonna draw them over to the left. Keep the shoulders anchored down. So this front leg, this leg that's closest to you, this is your right leg here, and you've rolled them over to the left side. Reach down, maybe grab hold of your ankle, and allow this stretch to soak in, to kind of seep in to the side glutes and into the hip. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out. Feeling the stretch really into the joint and side hip, side glutes. Breathe in again and breathe out. Let's return to center. Other side, figure 4. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Draw the legs in towards the chest. Maybe do a dorsiflex right here on the ankle. We'll pause here for a moment before we get into our rotated figure 4. Just anchoring the stretch. Now again, you can slide all the way over to the side right now if you know you're pretty darn flexible, or set your foot on the ground, keeping the leg crossed over, and then roll to the side. And you're gonna roll those legs over to the right. Your left leg is the one that's across the top. Reach down, grab hold of that left ankle. Other arm could open up to the side if that feels good. Breathe in and breathe out. And think about breathing into the low back, breathing into the side hip. Spending some time here. Inhale and exhale. We'll take another breath and we'll move into a nice hamstring opening combination to close our time. And return to center. Grab hold of the stretch out strap. So having a stretch strap would be a great thing. If you don't have one, you just go ahead and grab behind your thigh here. No problem at all. So you grab behind the thigh, or you can use the stretch strap around the foot. And draw the leg towards the chest a little bit. The other leg can go long. Let's breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the nose. Feeling this hamstring start to open. Now, how are our hamstrings important when we're thinking about our hips and low back? Well, the hamstrings attach up onto the pelvis. And when they're tight or weak or whatever we've got going on with them, they're going to impact the pelvis, the position of our pelvis, which does impact how our hips feel and how our low backs feel. So we want healthy hamstrings. Let's breathe in and breathe out. And we'll take the leg. Let's cross it over the body a little ways, getting more of a outside thigh lateral stretch, and continue to pull the leg towards your head while drawing the leg over and across the body. Breathing in and breathing out. From here, return to center. Maybe hold on with the same hand as foot and open the leg out to the side, changing the stretch on that leg once again. Opening the leg to the side, breathing in and breathing out. Feels pretty fantastic. We all need a good hamstring stretch. All right, return that leg back to center and release. We'll switch to the other side. So you can hold behind the thigh here if you don't have the stretch strap, or use the stretch strap around the foot and draw the leg towards the chest. The other leg can extend long on the ground if that feels good on the spine. Hold here and breathe. Drawing the leg towards the chest, finding that wonderful stretch up and down the back of the thigh, breathing in and breathing out. Being aware, being mindful, being present, feeling the stretch down the leg, noticing if it maybe goes into the calf a little bit, maybe even into the foot. If you're using that stretch strap, you can put it around the ball of the foot and draw the toes towards the shin a little bit and get a little bit more dorsiflexion at the ankle. That always feels good as well. Okay, let's start to bring the leg over the body a little ways. So cross it over, and you're going to get this more lateral outside hip IT band stretch. Let's hold here and breathe. Continue to draw the leg upward towards the head as you draw the leg over the body. Now you could go so far as to even go into a spinal rotation here. I'm pausing because I'm really working on getting my hamstring and outer hamstring released instead right now, because I think I need that more, but you can roll all the way across with the leg. And now open the leg outward from the body. So hold on to the same arm to leg and start to reach the leg outward and away from the body. Breathing in, breathing out. You can go all the way over there. You can go anywhere in between. I like to say, enjoy the journey. So take your time as the leg moves out and go back to different, maybe a different line of stretch if you have discovered something that you want more of. Drawing the leg upward towards the head while the leg moves outward to the side. And let's return to center and release. Feet flat on the ground, a gentle knee sways. Let the knees sway over to one side and sway over to the other. And again, sway to the side and sway to the other. Return the knees to center. Now, knees to chest, rock a little side to side, massage the low back. Rock onto your side body, press up to a seated position. And from here, we'll take a QL stretch. So extend one leg, bring the other foot in towards your inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall. We're gonna side lean towards your long leg. So reach out along the long leg with that same arm, other fingertips behind the ear. Side flex while keeping strong through belly. So belly draws into spine here. Take a breath in, bring that breath deep and low into the hips and into the low back. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, breath in and breath out. And let's return. Center is switching legs. Extend a leg out. The other foot tucks in. Get nice and centered, up and down. Even weight through your sits bones. Lengthen along your long leg. The other fingertips can come behind the ear. Point the elbow up to the sky. Keep belly drawn in. Let's breathe in through the nose. And breathe out through the nose. Again, breath in. And breath out. Feels so fantastic. So we're getting into, well, lots of muscle groups, but one that comes to mind in particular is your quadratus lumborum. It's this low back muscle that when one side might be too tight or maybe overdeveloped, we could have that hip that seems higher than the other. So this is a really good balancing exercise for the low back. And return center butterfly, both feet out in front. Grab hold of ankles or toes, lengthen through heart center and reach forward. This is a nice spine release as well. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, heart center reaches out in front. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, sink. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. From here, come on to all fours again. Just for a moment, we're going to move into a crouch to stretch out into the calves and low back. So I'm going to tuck my toes under, roll back onto the balls of my feet here. My heels are off the ground. I'm on the balls of the feet. We're going to move to a forward fold. So fingertips on the floor, push the hips up. Your knees can stay as bent as you want them to be. And then crouch back down again. So we're into our crouch again. 1 more time. Forward fold, drop the heels down, lift the seat up to the sky, and crouch down. Last time, forward fold. And from here, roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale the arms high to sky, extended mountain. Exhale, sink to chair. Inhale to extended mountain. Exhale, sink to chair. And widen out the feet, hands to thighs. We'll take a nice deep hip stretch, drop down into the left shoulder, look up past the right. Inhale, center, exhale, other direction. This is one of my favorite stretches. Inhale, center, exhale, rotate. Inhale, center, exhale, rotate. And inhale, center, fingertips to the floor, wide-legged fold. As our last stretch, chest reaches down towards the mat. Finding your wonderful hamstring stretch, crawl the hands over to 1 foot, stretching one side of the low back, and crawl the hands over to the other foot. Bring the hands back to center, forward fold. Slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale the arms high to sky, extended mountain. Exhale to chair. Inhale to extended mountain. Exhale to chair. 1 more time. Inhale to extended mountain. Exhale, hands through heart center. And thank you for joining me for our low back and hip stretch and release. Take care and can't wait to see you next time.